Hey, it's Suffering Student here, and today we're going to be talking about the comparator interface. So in last episode we talked about sets, and I created a simple name set called names, which is a tree set, which means it's going to be sorting the set based on just the normal sorting way for a string, which is alphabetically. But we would like to change it, and we could do it by creating a comparator implement a comparison interface on a class. So we would create a new class. We would call it sort by length. So what we would like to do is actually change to these are sorted by length. So we create a new class which implements comparator. Not comparable, which we talked about in another episode, but comparator, which forces us to implement the method compare to, which compares to objects, and we would actually like to not compare to random objects, but we would like to tell it that we are going to be comparing string. So now when we implement the method, we would get two strings compared, and we would just like to return, like when comparable, return either a value positive, negative, or the value 0 if they're the same. So what we simply do is we simply do 1.length minus 0.2.length. So what we're going to do now is actually inside our TreeSet, give it as a parameter a new sort by length object. So now, if you run it again, we would have Ava, Liam, and Daniel. And now because we're sorting by length, suddenly Ava and Dan is actually the same length. So it's going to remove, because now it's going to be sorting and looking for uniques based on length. So we need to be aware that we are also removing duplicates when it comes to length, because now it's the length that's the important part. And if we just want to change it, so we don't just save by length and only have one of each length, we can change it inside our comparator by actually, instead of just returning the length minus the other length, we can actually just keep this as a variable. So we just go int length equals those, and then we would do a check if our length is equal to 0. So in the case where they have the same, so instead of just erasing one of them, we would actually just like to return the result of them by actually just doing a 1 dot compare to 2. Otherwise, we would just return length. So now, if we run it again, we would get all information, because then we first sort by length, and then we sort the length by alphabetically. So regarding the ones with 2 length size, we sort by alphabetically with A first, and so on, with the forward the length, and so on. So that's how we would add it if we wanted to both be sorting by length first and then be sorting alphabetically afterwards. Or we could sort by anything else. Not too much to strings, but more if we had some kind of complex object, we could change the way our tree set would be sorting a complex object, which I will be using in my next coding session, where I'll be going through getting some data from a file, sorting it, or getting some data, putting it in an object, and then sorting these objects in a tree set. But this is all I wanted to tell you now about comparators, which allow us to create these comparator objects, which allow us to determine how we want to sort, for example, a tree set, or just in general how we want to sort a list. So that's all I have for now. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and I wish you all a wonderful day.